Hello everybody, this is HD Shaves here. I'm back with the video. Hope this finds you well and in good spirits. Well, today I found myself with a few different products that were kindly gifted to me by supporters of the channel, and I thought, why not? Let's continue with the Stirling theme, but let's use a couple of those products too. So the first one is a sample of Cerberus Fougere. That's what that stands for, and this is sent by a kind viewer, friend of the channel. Thanks very much, you know who you are. I had tried the original Cerberus quite a bit ago, but as I do like my Fougeres, I always wanted to try that, and somebody offered to send me that Fougere scent. And this ties in perfectly into the next gift to the channel, which was, I mentioned a couple of videos ago that I dropped and broke my Captain's Choice bowl, and Greg, a good friend and again supporter of the channel, he reached out and said, hey, I have this extra Captain's Choice bowl, would you like to have it? And I said yes, of course. And so that's where the Cerberus Fougere is pressed into today. You can hardly see it because of the color of the bowl. This is a slightly more kind of shiny coat finish to it than the bowl that I used to have, which maybe you remember was just kind of the blue ceramic one. But pretty sure this is going to break too if I drop it, so I'll try not to do that. And yeah, I must commend Captain's Choice. They've been making nice bowls for years and years now. So thanks very much to the people that provided the soap sample and the bowl for today. And like I mentioned, we'll continue on with the Stirling theme. So we'll be using some Varen Aftershave, which means fern in Dutch. We'll talk about that more. And then also, of course, continuing on the Moar Boar March Madness train using this beautiful Zenith breaths. Somebody asked, and I have failed to mention this enough in the videos, but this is a 31 millimeter diameter knot, about a 57 millimeter loft. And the Zenith B35 brush that you can buy on the Gentle Shave site is the same dimensions, same kind of handle, same knot, all that stuff. Okay, so who can guess what the razor is? Pause the video, think about it for a second, see if you can figure out what the razor is going to be. Did you guess that it's still the Karve Overlander? This thing hasn't come off my, well, that's not true. I used a WEC Sexo Blade once this week, and that was kind of enough for now. And so I went back to the Karve, and I think that's it's the same Polsilver blade in there. So let's start working up the soap here. As maybe you can tell from the video, I'm not exactly looking my best. I wish I could blame it on the weather or something, but perhaps it's stress, or I don't know. But I've been dealing with a couple kind of little breakout spots, and the good news is I'm feeling better anyway. Just there's been kind of a lot going on lately, lots of planning, and that's certainly been occupying some of my time. But the good news is that my spring break is now, is that right, 2 weeks away. So 2 weeks from today, I go on break, and I'm really excited for that. Not only just to have a break from my usual work, but also so that I can see some old friends along the way, play a few gigs, and that's going to be really great. So I'll give you a more detailed look into what that trip's going to look like in a couple of weeks. Yeah, tonight, this is Friday as I'm recording this. I probably won't get this up until Saturday, but tonight, Friday, I picked up a last minute kind of gig for this restaurant in the city that's just opening up. So it's been a while. I've done a couple of restaurant openings in my time, and they're fun and also crazy. They're fun because I feel like everybody, like all of the people that are dining, all the patrons, and then some of the top kind of manager employees, they tend to be overly optimistic after they've just opened up. And so they're always perhaps too nice to the band, nicer than they should be, but it's not like we correct them on that front. So they're usually pretty nice to us, and the only, I guess, stressful part of it potentially is that there's no sort of standard operating procedure, because you're the first person they're having to deal with in a music capacity. If something goes wrong, who knows what to do. But again, that's kind of where it's nice, because we have done many of these kinds of gigs before. So even if the manager doesn't quite know what to do with us, we will, strongly suggest that we do certain things if something goes wrong, or, I would like to think that we're able to provide reasonable solutions, given our, years and years of experience. So as I've been talking to you, I realize I haven't mentioned anything about the soap. This is the Milk Steak base from Declaration Grooming. I'm just going to do one more water addition. And yeah, it's I think I can smell the anise. I know there's a strong apricot note as well, but it's yeah, it's a nice take on the Fougere scent genre. I definitely like it. I think our old friend Frank might send me a sample of the fragrance in the future, and I'll certainly be happy to try that. And I also think that this is going to pair nicely with Varen. Okay, so that whipped up very easily. Let's see how it goes working it onto the face here. This feels like the first time in a while that I've loaded out of a bowl with this brush and then started to face lather. There are some advantages to going straight out of the tub versus doing what I did, and you smush a chunk of soap into a bowl and then go from there. In my opinion, if you're still worried about your boar eating up lather, or retaining lather, is a better way to say it. If you're still worried about that, there maybe is an advantage to using a shaving bowl like this, because you can go back and grab hydrated lather a little bit easier than you could from a tub, where you don't have much room to really work the soap around. You're kind of just loading the soap out of the tub. So that's something to consider. But at this point with this brush, I feel like it's doing a pretty good job, and so I'm not using, a bowl only for that reason. I'm just doing it because that's the best place to put this little soap chunk. Okay, I'm going to keep adding water for a bit and bring it back in. I'm about to start my first pass with the Karve. Okay, pretty happy with this first pass lather result. Let's go in with the Overlander with the Polsilver, first pass with the grain mostly. As some of you may know, I recently stepped back from a couple of shaving so-called commitments, and I'm mostly doing so to see if that affects my interest in the community, either in a positive way or a negative way. Maybe I miss doing those so-called commitments and then I'm drawn back to them in a month's time or something. And probably the more likely scenario is that I realize that, you know, there are other things I can do with my time and I don't return to those things. Don't worry, I guess I should have prefaced this by saying that I do still plan to keep making these videos. That's not on the chopping block yet. And some of you were even nice enough to reach out and suggest certain types of videos I could make that would perhaps get me moving in kind of a positive direction. And so I'm definitely going to do one of those that I heard. I just have to motivate myself to get it going. But I was reflecting on other hobbies I used to be deeply involved in, because it's the weird thing about a lot of us is that this is not our first rabbit hole, and it probably won't be our last. But I was thinking about some other previous past hobbies, and I seem to remember in the one that was most important to me when I was a good bit younger, I can remember quitting most aspects of the hobby, except I would still talk to my friends all the time. Even though I wasn't engaged in the activity, we would still, I don't know if we had group chats back then, it might have been too long ago, but anyway, I'm also optimistic that I will still continue to talk with you all for a good while, even if you know, I continue to step away from things. Okay, first pass was good. Let's rinse. I'll come back for the second one in just a moment. Pass number 2 was Cerberus Fougere. This is a really great brush. I was struck during that application how nice it was to just paint with that huge knot. It didn't feel too stiff, and it's also nice to agitate like you saw before the first pass. So yeah, just excellent brush. I'm so glad that many of us have it now and are having good experiences with it. Again, even if you miss the sub-exclusive version, you can still get the B35 from the Gentle Shave. Okay, let's do the second pass now. And I guess this would be my time to talk about the weather. It's been relatively consistent in the past week. Supposed to be going down there. We'll fix it on the other side. Last Saturday, I remember it was a nice day because we did a little 5K race at one of the parks in the city. And I remember that was a really nice day, suitable for running. And it's been mostly the same, I feel like, since then. We had a little rain this week. And then last night, it just sprinkled some snow. But it looks like the next week is kind of this consistently high 30s high for, you know, a week. So I don't have very high hopes for the weather this week. Nevertheless, this winter continues to be very mild. So I'm not complaining, and I don't think most of my neighbors are either. Okay, let's rinse and come back for the final third pass. Third pass. By the way, yes, we are wearing the Declaration shirt today. I didn't think it was going to match up with anything because I've been so in a Sterling kind of mindset, but then I realized, oh yeah, that's the soap base for Cerberus Fougere. Okay, here's the third pass. I'm going to go really lightly today. As I tell my students, I'm telling you so I don't forget. So similarly, I'm telling you so I don't forget. Yeah, this is really such a gentle razor, if you let it be, and it has, you know, enough audio feedback to where it's not too mild or anything like that. And I was glad to see that at least a couple of you took me up on my offer, or that's not the right way to say it, but you took my suggestion seriously, and I know that a couple of you just got new Overlanders after I said, you got to try one. And I wish I had an extra one, and then I could maybe do some sort of little pass around with that, but I really can't see myself getting rid of this razor anytime soon. You know, to use a rather serious comparison, this is like when you quit the hobby, this is the razor you take with you, kind of thing. Again, not that I am right now, but that's how great the razor is. It's got one little spot here, but that might have been from the other day. It's weird. I'm starting to smell elements of Varen in this soap. I don't think that's intentional. Yeah, I think they're gonna pair together quite nicely. And I've had Varen on my mind this week because I've been using the soap every day except for today. So I should have mentioned that these are really my first impressions of the Cerberus Fougere. Just doing a little touch up, and then we'll be good. Right, I'm going to do my final rinse and come back and talk to you over post-shave. Stay tuned. Okay, we're back, and to give you an idea, there was about half a teaspoon of soap in there. And that's all that's left in addition to what's in the brush. So I don't know, you could probably get another pass out of that, but this is a good reminder to the people who are perhaps getting to a similar stage with their Boar brush and I am, where it starts to feel pretty broken in, but you should still load plenty of soap, plenty of soap. So that's my piece for today. Let's use the Stirling Varen Balm. This has witch hazel, emulsifying wax, meadowfoam seed oil, grapeseed oil, shea butter, aloe, and that relates to one thing. Let's see if it happens again today. I'm going to try to use not too much because you don't need much of this stuff. Yeah, I can still kind of smell it. I've been having a weird, although I guess not too weird, sensation when I apply this balm this week. That right when I first put it on, it smells like cucumber. And I asked if anybody else had that experience. Somebody else chimed in and said, yeah, I kind of smell that too. What's up with that? So then we reached out to Rod of Stirling directly. And if I'm not mistaken, the Varen scent is just a bunch of oak moss. Like it's an oak moss balm, maybe they would say. And because of the way that scent mixes with the aloe in this, that is maybe what we're smelling. The good news is that it dies down very quickly, and the dry down of the balm is very similar to what the soap smells like. So if you can handle that on the onset, then you'll be fine. There's certainly worse things that an aftershave product could smell like at the very front. I won't call any specific ones out, but let's just say some have a particularly meaty smell to them. So anyway, that's the weird quirk with the Varen balm. Okay, recap. We used this same damn razor. This video that I told you I was thinking about making, that might cause me to, actually change out the razor. So that might be a good thing. Anyway, I hope that doesn't drive me totally crazy. Cerberus Fougere, really nice scent. It's too bad. I think it was in stock. The soap was in stock until maybe about a week ago. And so, of course, as soon as I post this video, I go and check, and it seems like it's sold out. But I thought I saw some on some maybe either third-party sites, some other retailers maybe. So take a look into it if you're interested. The Arbor Shaving sub-exclusive Zenith Boar brush. Really enjoying this brush. We're definitely getting over that initial learning curve, if you will. And I'm just super pleased with this Captain's Choice bowl. Interestingly, they're made not very far from me. They're made out in the west suburbs, I think Naperville, maybe, that kind of area. So I guess I'm using a local Illinois product. So that's something I can say. Okay, thank you all so much. If you made it this far in the video, feel free to leave a comment or question down below. And for now, this has been HD Shaves. Take care. We'll see you again next time. Goodbye.